George. I want to call to order this December 9, 2025 meeting of the Nelson County Board of Supervisors. Please stand for a moment of silence. Mr. Parr, lead us in the pledge, please.
Yes, sir. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have some people signed up for our first order of business, which is public comments. And I'm going to give everyone the guidelines for the public comments. We have some people that have signed up. After I call those people to the podium, then anybody who hasn't signed up who wants to speak will have an opportunity. I'll read the names of the people who signed up in the order that they signed. So when I call your name, approach the podium and speak clearly into the microphone. Give your name and address for the record. Remember, you'll be addressing the board, and you'll have 3 minutes for your comments. If you represent a group, please identify the group you're representing, and then you can have up to 5 minutes to speak. Mr. Parr, can you be our timekeeper today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. He'll let you know when there's 30 seconds left, and also let you know when your time is up, and at that point you should wrap it up as quickly as possible. The chair can allow more time at the chair's discretion, and of course, please be civil and courteous and concise in your comments. We all appreciate that. So the first person on the list that signed up is Joanne Clarkson.
I want to thank you all for the opportunity to speak before you. And before I go into my requests, I want to give special thanks to David Parr, as well as the County Administrator's Office, the Commissioner of Revenue's Office, and also the Treasurer's Office. I have a suggestion.
Okay, one moment. Can you please give your name and address for the record?
Pardon?
Can you give your name and address for the record, please? Thank you.
All right, you talk slow, kind of a little low, and I'm hard of hearing, so I apologize.
I do too. Thank you.
I'm very hard of hearing. My name is Joanne Thompson Clarkson. My address, do you need that?
Yes.
3316 Patrick Henry Highway, Piney River, Virginia.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so you've heard my introduction. I have a suggestion for you all that I will follow it up with a letter. This past couple of weeks, I know that the reassessment notices came out. Several family members as well as friends of mine received theirs. I had a hard time getting mine. You know what the mail is like. So I own several parcels of land in my own name, as well as parcels of land with other owners. Okay, my suggestion is this. Once these letters, notices are mailed out, I feel like that the company that whoever does this reassessment, they need to put a copy of this in the county administrator's office. Understand they did not get a copy until last Friday. I checked this morning. Okay, all right. So if the mail is late, you only have so many days within which to file your appeal. Okay, all right, I got mine. I have 10 days, and that's running out. Okay, so I've got to do that. So I'm suggesting that you all, whoever you hire, make sure that they give you all a copy before they go out to the taxpayer. Also, some unknowns are here. The tax rate. We don't know who's going to be on the Board of Appeals. So, there are unknowns. A lot of my land's in land use. So, I think you all need to address this and see that this company, whatever does it, that they do give you all the copies before they are mailed to the taxpayer. And I will follow this up with a letter. And thank you very much, and have a blessed evening.
Thank you. William Piercy.
Excuse me, William Piercy, aka Bill and Hill, 608 Fortunes Cove, Livingston. 'Tis the season to be jolly, joyful, thankful, and grateful. A time to recognize, acknowledge, and appreciate the blessings, joys, and privileges that we are surrounded by, and may all too often take for granted. The environment, the air we breathe, the clean water we drink, good food that we eat, and the warm clothes that we wear. Our safe homes, schools, towns, free country, peace on earth, etc. Life, health, home, family, and friends. I'm thankful and grateful for you collectively as a Board of Supervisors and Administrative Department, and individually for your service and dedication to Nelson County. I never cease to be amazed at the number of ongoing tasks and volume of information and data that you juggle and manage every day. The public meetings, online notices, very thorough packets, all very clear efforts towards transparency and accountability. Thank you for each of those and more, which leads to public confidence and faith and trust in our county government. There are so many things to be thankful and grateful for that it would take me my entire 3 minutes to mention them, and I wouldn't have any time left to share with you my wish and hope list. As a substitute teacher in Nelson County Public School, I have the opportunity to witness the traffic flow at each of the 4 schools. I'm very grateful to our sheriff department and especially the resource officers controlling traffic to allow the buses and car riders to exit safely at the end of the school day. I'm still hopeful that the speed monitoring cameras will be reconsidered and approved next year. I am thankful for our school board and superintendent. Dr. Hester does an outstanding job with the board meetings and presentations. The audio-video recordings on YouTube are excellent, and my hope is that the technology and system will be emulated in the Board of Supervisor meetings. I am thankful that the representatives from Wild Rose Solar Farm Project are here with us today and look forward to hear updates and progress report. I believe that a project of this scope and importance to Nelson County warrants a tab on the Board Supervisor website. I am watching to see how the Nelson County High School scholarship selection is awarded and how and when the applications are made available. In light of a recent notice from CBEC, I am hopeful that the solar farm project can offset and prevent much of the anticipated rate increase of almost 8%. Another very large scale project that I believe should have a special tab on the website is the Dillard Creek Larkin property project. This remains a significant source of frustration as Nelson County waits on CBA or CHA to manage a project that should be controlled locally, disregarding the notion that 82,000 gallons a day supply source is necessary before anything can be done with the property to benefit the citizens of Nelson County.
Please wrap it up.
There are several companies in Nelson capable of drilling wells and excavating to build a recreation reservoir or extending and renovating the high school fitness trail that already exists adjacent to the Larkin property and also already has a well on it.
Thank you, Bill.
If I give you the name of the organization that I represent, can I have a couple more minutes?
Well, had you told me that at the beginning, I would say yes. You've gone over your 3 minutes. Thank you.
What about my organization?
Thank you, Bill.
How about at the end of it? We'll see.
Thank you. Next, we have Woody Greenberg.
Hi, I'm Woody Greenberg, 377 Cabell Mountain Lane, Arrington, Virginia, 22922. I'm not sure what the protocol is because I know you're honoring Tommy. and I can't stay for this entire session. So I just wanted to say that it was an honor to serve with him back in the late 80s, early 90s. Tommy's dedication to this county was incredible. I learned so much from being on the board. We butted heads a few times, but that's to be expected. The thing that I admired most when I first got on the board was his command of the process of dealing with VDOT and getting the roads in his district on their priority lists before anybody else could even think about doing so. He was a master at representing his district in that respect. The other thing he was known for and admired for, and his leadership was for the rescue squads and fire departments, the emergency services. He was a real advocate for the volunteer rescue squads and fire departments, and he taught me a lot about the inner workings of those organizations. And finally, the Nelson County Public School System. He was dedicated to the public school system, was always and is always a great supporter of the county support for the public school system. So I just want to say I believe it was a real honor to have served with him. He taught me a lot, and I appreciate everything he has done for the county. Thank you.
Thank you. Edith Napier.
Good afternoon. I'm Edith Napier. I reside on Napier Loop Road in Arlington, Virginia. I'm honored to speak today again on behalf of the Nelson County Juneteenth Celebration Committee. I would like to ask the members of our committee who are present to please stand. Thank you. Their dedication and hard work are the backbones of this celebration, and I extend my deepest thanks to each of them. As we are preparing for the 4th annual Juneteenth celebration in Nelson County, scheduled for Saturday, June 20th, 2026 at 3 p.m., this event continues to grow in reach and impact, offering our community a space to honor history, celebrate progress, and invest in the future. In 2025, our theme focused on historical Black colleges and universities and the educational opportunities that they offer to all students. We welcome college students who share their experiences and answer questions from attendees, creating an inspiring and inclusive dialogue that resonated across generations. We are grateful to the Nelson Heritage Center for once again opening its doors to host the event. While the Juneteenth Committee operates independently, we deeply value the center's support and partnership in making this celebration possible. Today, the Nelson County Juneteenth Celebration Committee is requesting a $5,000 contribution on behalf of the citizens of the county to support the 2026 Juneteenth celebration. We also ask again that this contribution be considered as a recurring county budget line item, ensuring continued support for this meaningful tradition. Your investment will help us provide enriching programming, foster educational engagement, and celebrate the diverse heritage that strengthens our community. With your support, we can continue to offer students and families experiences that uplift, inform, and inspire. Thank you for your time, your consideration, and your commitment to the people of Nelson County. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, those are all the people that signed up for.
I'm sorry, just one other thing. We would like to know as soon as possible to assist us in our planning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? This would be your opportunity if you didn't sign up already for public comments.
Good afternoon. My name is Connie Brennan, 524 Buck Creek Lane, Faber 22938. I hadn't planned to speak, but after serving with Tommy Harvey for 16 years on the Board of Supervisors, I feel that I would really like to say how much I appreciated that opportunity. I would also like to thank all of you for your service too, because I certainly understand what a commitment it actually is. I also was on the school board for 4 years before I came onto the Board of Supervisors, and I remember my first meeting with Tommy Harvey. I walked into the station, he took one look at me and went, but then I chatted, and we warmed up, and he was, for the rest of the time I knew him, one of the best teachers I have ever had. I went places with him. He taught me so much, just as Woody had said, and I really appreciated that. Toward the end, we didn't really agree on much, but we both agreed on the importance of public education, public safety, and the library. Those were things that he really, really cared a lot about. And I just want to say to Diane, if she's here, thank you to Tommy, please, and thank you all.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? Okay, then we will close public comments and move to the consent agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Is there any discussion? If not, take a roll call.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Rutherford?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes. Thank you. Next, we have a resolution that I would like to read recognizing the county service of Mr. Harvey, as has already been mentioned. Before I do, is there anyone else here that served either as staff or on the board with Mr. Harvey when he was here? Okay, and is there anyone from the family? Oh, Diane, hello. Okay, so I'm going to read the resolution. It's Resolution R 2025-82, Nelson County Board of Supervisors recognizing the county service of Thomas T. Harvey. Whereas Afton resident and lifelong Nelsonian Thomas D. Tommy Harvey was elected in a special election in November 1984 at age 30 and was subsequently elected to serve 10 consecutive terms on the Board of Supervisors for the North District for a total of 41 years of public service. And whereas Tommy Harvey has distinguished himself as a dedicated public servant who worked to support policies in the best interest of all local residents, and during his tenure, he has worked with 23 supervisors, 8 county administrators, and countless staff members along the way. And whereas during his tenure on the Board of Supervisors, Mr. Harvey helped the county advance its available utilities through the formation of the Nelson County Service Authority for improvement to public water and sewer in Livingston, Shipman, Schuyler, Gladstone, Piney River, and Wintergreen, and the Nelson County Broadband Authority, which successfully initiated the county's fiber broadband project and contributed to making high-speed internet connectivity available to homes and businesses throughout Nelson County. And whereas Mr. Harvey has been a strong supporter of Nelson County Public Schools, and during his tenure, the county built Ty River and Rockfish River Elementary Schools, Nelson Middle School, and completed renovations to Nelson County High School. And whereas throughout his career, Mr. Harvey has made many important contributions to the community, including efforts to secure adequate funding for local emergency services, the implementation of enhanced 9/11, improvements to public safety radio communications, and road safety improvements throughout the county. Excuse me. And whereas Mr. Harvey also assisted. Mr. Parr, would you read the rest of this one,
Certainly.
please? I'm sorry.
Whereas Mr. Harvey also assisted with the expansion of the Nelson Memorial Library and the courthouse complex, the completion of the Blue Ridge Railway Trail and the Blue Ridge Tunnel Trail, and countless other projects and endeavors over the years. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Nelson County Board of Supervisors do hereby officially recognize Thomas D. Tommy Harvey as the longest-serving member on the Board of Supervisors, and respectfully ask all citizens to join in expressing their sincere gratitude and appreciation for the 41 years of outstanding service to our community that he has most generously given. Be it further resolved that the Nelson County Board of Supervisors does hereby name the former Board of Supervisors room number 420 in Mr. Harvey's honor to now be known as the Thomas D. Harvey Meeting Room.
Thank you, Mr. Parr. Diane, would you like to come up? And we have something we'd like to give to Tommy and yourself. Candy, do you want to come up and join us for this?
I did have a little note from him, but I don't know that I can read it after all this nice. Anyway.
I would encourage you to, if you can. Thank you.
Yeah, that's okay. Y'all just give me a moment, okay? Oh, excuse me, okay. All right. Mr. Chairman, fellow supervisors, county staff, and citizens of Nelson County, thank you for allowing my wife Diane to read this on my behalf. I want to begin by offering a sincere apology for not being able to attend in person. Ongoing health and mobility challenges made that impossible, and I regret not being here with you today. Serving on this board has been one of my great honors of my life. For more than 4 decades, I worked for the people of Nelson County through good times and hard ones, through progress, pushback, and through moments that demanded resolve instead of applause. I never treated this seat as a formality or a stepping stone. It was a responsibility. In recent years, my health limited my role, but it has never changed my commitment. My focus remained on doing what was right for this county and the people who we call it home. Nelson County is not perfect, but it is strong. It is built by neighbors who work, who look out for one another, by public servants who do the work without recognition, and by citizens who expect honesty and not excuses. Get myself back in here. Excuse me. I want to thank the county staff, past and present. Your work matters more than most people ever realize, and this county runs because of your efforts. To my fellow supervisors, we have not always agreed that is as it should be. Government is not about comfort, it is about responsibility. As this seat passes to a new leadership, my hope is simply that my successor brings at least half the dedication, backbone, and respect for this office that I've tried to bring every day. The people of Nelson County deserve no less. To the citizens of the North District and all of Nelson County, thank you for your trust over the years. I did my best to earn it with honesty, consistency, and willingness to speak plainly when it mattered. Finally, I want to thank my wife Diane. She carried me more than her share so I could serve, and any good that came from that time is inseparable from her strength and sacrifice. I leave this office grateful for the opportunity, proud of the work, and the confidence in the future of Nelson County. So as long as the leaders remember who they are here to serve. And thank you all so very much.
Okay, so don't leave. Can we have someone to take a picture for us?
Yes.
Okay.
Ready to go.
Okay.
Thank you all so very much. Thank you.
I guess that was a motion, a second.
Would you like to second?
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. And I believe you made the motion?
Yes.
Mr. Parr? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Take a vote.
Mr. Rutherford.
Yes.
Mr. Parr.
Yes.
Mr. Reed.
Yes. Thank you all. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Tommy.
Tommy.
We have an additional resolution to read, and this is recognizing the county service of Jackie Britt. So,
Yep. Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve Resolution R 2025-83, Nelson County Board of Supervisors Resolution recognizing the county service of Jacqueline Clark Britt. Whereas Jackie Britt has been a lifelong active member of Nelson County community, and whereas since January 1, 2009, Jacqueline Britt has served as the duly appointed General Registrar and Director of Elections for Nelson County, and whereas during her tenure as General Registrar, Jacqueline Britt has diligently overseen more than 30 general and primary elections, trained hundreds of officers of election, and monitored the filings of dozens of local candidates. And whereas in addition to her core responsibilities, Jacqueline Britt has served in several statewide and regional leadership roles in the Voter Registrars Association of Virginia, and whereas to further her education in the elections field, Jacqueline Britt has received professional certification at both the state and national levels. And whereas in recognition of her extensive knowledge base and dedication to fairness, security, and transparency, Jacqueline Britt was selected to serve as a member of the Bipartisan Policy Center's Elections Task Force. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Nelson County Board of Supervisors jointly with the Nelson County Electoral Board do hereby officially recognize Jacqueline Clark, Jackie Britt, and respectfully ask all citizens alike to join in expressing their sincere gratitude and appreciation for the many years of outstanding service to our community she has most generously given. Be it further resolved that Jacqueline Clark Britt will be missed both personally and professionally, and the board wishes her continued health, happiness, and prosperity upon her well-deserved retirement. Thank you, Jackie.
Second.
okay, we have a motion, we have a second. We'll take a roll call.
Mr. Parr.
Yes.
Mr. Rutherford.
Yes.
Mr. Reed.
Yes. And Jackie, if you want to come up and join us for another.
Robert here? He is here.
Okay. Next, we have a presentation. Mr. Brown's here to give the VDOT report. I believe I passed you on the road coming to the meeting.
Yeah, I was headed up to, did you see that?
Yeah.
Well, good afternoon, board. Good to be back with you this month. Don't have a whole lot to report. We have completed our last litter pickup in Nelson County. That should have been completed a couple of weeks ago. There's, like most counties, we probably picked up between 1,600 and 2,000 bags of trash. That was contractor, that was our contractor pickup. We were able to keep funding that. Did want to report, we've been doing a lot of work down on Route 623 Davis Creek, one of the rural rustic projects that's in our 6-year plan. It's been quite an ordeal down there. We had a lot of large pipes to replace, so we've got the pipes replaced, and hopefully next spring we can go in there and finish putting the hard surface down on the road and get those folks out of the dust. We are still continuing to replace a lot of cross-line pipes on secondary routes in Nelson County that are in poor condition. That has been a special effort where we got some special funding to do that, and we dedicated quite a bit of that to Nelson County because we had such a large number of pipes that were in poor condition. So we're going to continue doing that. And we got a good workout last week in snow removal. far as I know, I think that went very well. We did use a lot of chemical, but that's okay. That's what we have it for, is to put on the roads and keep everything clear. Of course, you know, in Nelson County, we have a private contractor that does a lot of that service up here. They did well, and as well as our own state forces did a very good job, and we didn't have anybody get hurt, and didn't have much equipment damage, so we had a good run last week. But other than that, I don't have a whole lot else to report today.
Okay. Well, let's petition the board.
All right. So, Route 605, Peavine Lane, there's a culvert pipe that is in front of address 812 Peavine Lane. There, you'll notice that it's starting to collapse in several locations along the culvert pipe. It's probably just old and been there since the 70s or 80s. Second one is the sinkhole that's been sitting on Whippoorwill at the beginning. That road is off of 605. You've been there before. And you've gotten some emails in the past. Third, I just want to mention Route 6 and 29. Route 6 down headed towards 151. It was another accident. I don't think it was it on Route 6, Mr. Embry, or was it after?
I believe it's 29 and 6. It's at intersection.
It was at the intersection again. This is like my office is right there, and I've gotten to unfortunately see a lot of accidents at the Route 629 intersection. Something's got to be figured out. Whether we get rid of it, whether we revisit our cut, I don't know. I know we had that smart scale discussion, but you know, it's a scary place. There's a lot of accidents have been there in the last few months.
That one today was involved one of our vehicles.
Oh, did it?
Yes.
Oh my. I'm sorry. Were they okay?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. We can certainly.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know what we can do.
I think wasn't there a
but
smart?
definitely.
Wasn't there a smart?
Out of the meetings, I mean, there were some good ideas, and I think there's a good smart scale project there to help it. But some of that came out of our public meetings that we had. But it's going to take a traffic. Really, we need to do another traffic study. And I know everybody says we're going to do another traffic study, but anything that's recommended, that gets into a smart scale application has got to have a traffic study to support it.
Let's do traffic.
I think I will. I've talked to our traffic operations people, and we may have that on the books to do another study, but I'll certainly follow up on that and see if we haven't, see what it would take to get one going, because to me, until we prohibit that left turn out of there going north, we always have problems, at least one of those movements. So it's a lot of moving parts there, and not a lot of good real estate to make improvements. So we're really handicapped, but that doesn't mean we still shouldn't be looking.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's dangerous. I mean, I've heard multiple car crashes from my front porch over there. That's no secret. So, I mean, I heard one great idea was sending traffic from heading down 6 towards 29 that wants to go north, go down Tidbit.
That is a possibility.
Like that. I mean, Tidbit's not that.
But see, the thing about it, you gotta take them down just about to the crossover at the way station to find the way you can get them across there due to the elevation difference in the lanes.
Oh.
But that's certainly.
I don't know.
I like that idea.
I mean, that was the only one that made sense to me somewhat. But let me know. I mean, I just think it's serious. I mean, I'm seeing an accident there like every week, it feels like. I don't even go down. I'll put it to you this way, and this is a rule of thumb. Everybody should follow because I always make a left on the Route 6 right there. If you see more than 3 cars trying to make a left on the 151, go to the wayside and go down Tidbit. Save your life. Yeah. Or if you see a long line there, go down Tidbit and make a right. You know, if you see a tractor trailer in there at any point, don't go through that intersection. Do U-turn somewhere. So that's just my public service.
I mean, we could prohibit that left turn now. I don't know if that's something.
It may force everybody to do a U-turn.
make everybody go down to the crossover and hit
Yeah,
Pickwick.
I mean, that's.
Then you have everybody doing a U-turn and across from Shady's and Woodridge, and that's
Oh, I see.
not wide enough. That's tight.
That's tight.
Yeah.
You're saying a left turn?
No, I was thinking-
he's saying the other
I'm
direction.
thinking northbound,
Northbound.
prohibit left turn.
Prohibit the left turn to make everybody go down
Oh,
the
I see what
wayside.
you're saying. Okay,
Go
I was
down
thinking
to the
Route
crossroads.
6.
I mean,
I
that's
got you.
not
I was
a,
going that
that's,
way.
That's doable now.
that's,
If there's not something here that we don't see.
I mean, and nobody knows how to use that intersection. Nobody knows, yeah, you're in the furthest of the right of that median, not, you know, I've almost been on like 3 head-on collisions right there. But anyways, I whatever it is, something needs to be done. There's accidents there all the time.
Robert, what would that involve, closing that left turn movement?
It would take I mean, we'd have to study it and we'd have to take a good look at it and look at probably have to do a traffic impact analysis to make sure that we were not missing anything here, that we weren't gonna create a bigger problem if we did that.
Do we, do y'all need a motion for a traffic study from us?
No,
Okay,
no.
I think it's reasonable.
no,
I agree.
No, no, I don't need a motion.
Okay. Thank you. David? Okay, well, circling back to that intersection. I met with Jerry West from Parks and Rec at Janet Hunter's property
Oh, yeah.
on Rockfish River Road in Schuyler. For thank you for all the help you've given him on the kayak takeout there just above the dam. And I asked him if he'd heard anything about the discussion we had quite some time ago about having a kayak put in at the wayside, at the south part of the wayside. I don't know if there's been any discussion or money available or things we could apply for, or if it's something that that you'd like to.
I haven't heard a
comment
lot
on.
about that lately. I mean, I know we have, that goes back 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
We were talking about that.
Yeah.
To me, I mean, that's, the wayside is, I mean, that's VDOT right away. Pretty much, I don't know why it's so much discussion other than, to me, we just need a plan of what y'all want to put, what the county wants to install, and we permit it on VDOT right away. To me, it's pretty simple. I don't know if anybody's had that discussion yet, but I can initiate that.
Do you know if there's any money available to help do not a lot of work
I don't know if
necessary?
there's VDOT money that's available. I'm just trying to think. I mean, obviously, there's always revenue sharing. I mean, you know, revenue sharing act. I don't know if there might be some type of, if there was an improvement to get to it, and you needed recreational access funds, that's always available. But that would be more for access to the canoe launch.
Mhm.
And that's really not a big deal right there.
Yeah.
Not to pay for the canoe launch, but to get access to it.
Yeah. Yeah, the reason that it comes up, of course, is because, you know, with the kayak takeout, 8 miles downriver, having a place to put in makes sense. That's actually dedicated to that, and it does guarantee that would be something that the county can really be proud of to make that
Have
work.
y'all had any concepts of what the put launch area will look like and involved as far as?
No, but I'm sure we could, you know, we could come up with something that
Yes.
would come out. It would be,
Can't be that hard.
yeah, it shouldn't take much.
I mean, my suggestion would be to send me something that you all want to put in and
Mhm.
construct along the edge of the river, and let's get it started.
Okay. Okay,
I
we'll
don't-
circle
I
with
don't-
Candy and Mr. West and see what we can,
And I
Put
don't
together.
see where getting this done is a heavy lift at all, in my opinion, unless I'm just totally missing something.
okay.
So is the takeout done?
Well, kind of, I think there's gonna be some improvement of a parking area that hasn't been done yet, but there is place to park
Right-of-way and
now.
all that stuff is
That's all
finished out.
been done.
Yeah, we have not, we started we started cleaning that up and did some investment in that with some VDOT county safety funds. You know, when we renovated to put in the new tables and the grills and all. We have not finished down there, we just haven't gotten back to it. It's my intention to remove all of that stockpile, all that soil down there, all the stockpiles, and extend that guardrail to close some of those entrances up, and do a little grading down there to get access down to that lower level. We just have not got to do it, but I'll be glad to talk with Mr. West.
That'd be great. The adjacent landowner there has put up a really nice fence, which demarcates the area really well. It's not a large area, but it'll be really nice when that's something that we can tout on behalf of the county and recreation and get some people on the river.
If y'all have a concept of what you want to do as far as how it affects and impacts VDOT property, just don't send it to me. And I mean, it's just like any request. We'll do a land use permit or something, permit it.
Okay, so we'll do that. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Yeah, also, thanks for the work on Davis Creek. People there really appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll get that finished when the weather gets better.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Season's greetings. Happy New Year to you. Okay. Next, we have a presentation on the Central Virginia Land Conservancy, and Susan McSwain's here to introduce Mr. Charles Lacey. So, Susan?
Okay. My name is Susan McSwain, and I live north of Shipman in the great metropolis of Elma. I have served as a board member for the Central Virginia Land Conservancy since 2011. Earlier this year, the Conservancy hired Charles Lacey as our new program manager, and a requirement for whomever fills that position is that they live within the area we serve. This includes 6 counties, so when Charles and his wife decided to move to Nelson, I personally was thrilled. Our previous program manager lived in Lynchburg, but having Charles here in Nelson is good news for the county. Our comp plan lists 4 specific ways to preserve the rural nature of the county, and one is through conservation and open space easements. Charles previously worked for the Department of Forestry in the office that handles open space easements, so he comes with a wealth of knowledge about conserving rural land. He grew up in Wythe County and understands the value of land preservation. He is now in a position to contribute to the protection of forest and farms in Nelson County. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Susan. And Charles, you want to come up and give us your little presentation?
Sure.
Thank you for being here today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Susan. And thank you, Supervisors, for having me today. And to the administrative staff for all your help in getting this up and running. Is this to change slides? Okay. As Susan said, I'm the new program manager for Central Virginia Land Conservancy. What we primarily specialize in is conservation easements. We do that in an effort to preserve forested and agricultural land, which Nelson County has a good bit of. So for those in the room who don't know what a conservation easement is and what it does, it's essentially a voluntary agreement that a landowner can enter into with an easement holder, such as themselves. The primary goal is to limit the development rights and preserve the conservation values of a private piece of land. It must be held by a public entity, either by an organization like ourselves or a state entity like the Department of Forestry or the Virginia Outdoors Foundation. So we were founded in 2003 by some volunteers down in Amherst County. We weren't holding easements until 2019 when we merged with the Blue Ridge Land Conservancy based out of Roanoke. So since 2019, we've grown from not holding easements to now holding 35 easements across our 6-county area, which includes Nelson County, as well as Amherst, Appomattox, Bedford, Buckingham, and Campbell County. So some statistics for you here. Bedford County is our most populous county, the one where we hold the most easements. We have 14 there currently, and we're just continuing to spread outside of the greater Lynchburg area. Nelson being on our northernmost end is a high priority for me, especially being a new resident of the county. I'd love to see our program grow and expand here in Nelson County. Down below, I've broken it down into acreages. We currently hold 456 acres across 3 easements in Nelson County. So we have some work to do to catch up there and lots of opportunity to do that. We'll put some other statistics up here. Acreage-wise, about 1/3 of all of Nelson County is either in national forest, wilderness area, or in agricultural use of some kind. Being that as it is, public land, recreation, and farming are a primary component of Nelson County's economy and just identity as a county. So it's all the more important that we buffer and preserve these areas and continue to make them an identifying factor that makes Nelson County what it is. This is a map that shows sort of our spread of easements throughout our service area. You can see we have 3 up in Nelson with 1 right on the border in Amherst. We have a ton of opportunity here. I mean, the northern or northwestern boundary of the county has the Appalachian Trail across its entire length, and the southeastern side is demarcated by the James River. So between the Blue Ridge and the state classified scenic river that is the James, there is lots of opportunity for conservation here in Nelson County. This is a digitized map that I like to use. This is satellite imagery from the year 2000, whereas this was a 7,500 acre piece of contiguous forest. This was taken in 2022. It shows what parcelization can do to an area. In just 2 decades, we've gone from being a contiguous 7,500 acre patch to having 328 separate owners. This animation is another sort of viewpoint on what that looks like. Forest land being converted to subdivisions. At the Conservancy, we recognize that development is part of life and people need places to live. What we like to do is push for that development to be localized in areas where it's appropriate and to keep our agricultural areas and forested areas intact. It's a cartoon I like to show. It's what a lot of the development looks like that you see sprawling outside of Charlottesville, and it's the sort of thing we're trying to prevent down this far south. So what does a conservation easement do? As I said, it's a limitation on the development rights. There's a limit on the number of times the property can be subdivided and a limit to the number and size of the structures that can be built. The owner still retains full ownership of the property and still has the rights to be able to use the property in a way that's consistent with keeping the conservation values of a property intact. And unless you specifically want it, you do not have to allow the public access to your land. Y'all are probably all familiar with Fortune's Cove. That's a property that's held under conservation easement by the Nature Conservancy that does allow public access, but it's not a requirement. So with all of our easement properties, you'll see maps similar to this. This is an example map I put together. This is a property that's been subdivided once. And as you go down the list, you can see the perennial streams have been buffered with 40-foot riparian zones just to protect water quality. We have some no-build areas. Sometimes we'll put those on higher elevation portions of the property just to keep view sheds intact, etc. Building envelopes are another thing that's common to see. It's areas that are specifically delineated on a map where people are allowed to build their dwellings. So there's a multitude of reasons that landowners might be interested in a conservation easement. Personal values is probably the most common one that I see. There's a lot of land here in Nelson County and elsewhere that has been in a family for multiple generations, and they put a lot of sweat equity into the property, and it just holds meaning to them on a personal level. So when you see land sprawling from Charlottesville and being subdivided, conservation easements are perpetual, therefore they give a landowner peace of mind that their property is not going to be turned into a subdivision or a shopping center basically for all of time. It's a perpetual agreement that you're entering into, and for that peace of mind, you'll know that your land will essentially stay intact. Land stewardship is another reason. There are a lot of environmentalists in Nelson County, and I'm one of them. Like to ensure that we always have places to explore the woods, to hunt, to fish, to farm, and to make sure that areas like that are protected for future generations. Another selling point that I use a lot and kind of sweetens the pot for landowners, there are some really good tax benefits for landowners that enter into a conservation easement. The IRS considers an easement to be a charitable donation that can be written off on your taxes. And there's actually a state tax credit and federal deduction for landowners that qualify, which in my experience has been almost all of them. What does that look like in real numbers? If your property is worth $1 million at its best use, once an easement's put on it, it devalues the property to $600,000. That remaining $400,000 is your easement value, and you actually get that technical loss on your property value back in tax credits. So with a $400,000 easement value, you're looking at $240,000 in a federal deduction that can be used over 15 years, with the remaining 40%, $160,000 being in a state tax credit that can actually be sold. The state of Virginia is one of the few states that allows you to actually buy and sell state tax credits and issues them for conservation easements. So if this was your property and you got $160,000 back in state tax credits, you can usually sell those for up to 80 or 90 cents on the dollar for what it's worth. So that would leave roughly $140,000 back in your pocket, basically preserving your land in the state that you already want it to stay in, which is rural and agricultural in nature. So in addition to the personal benefits, just from a vantage from a statewide perspective, they're to the benefit of everyone. They keep view sheds intact along the Appalachian Trail and the James River, scenic roads, and they also contribute to water quality and air quality throughout the state. They contribute to wildlife corridors. They keep agriculture and working farms as a viable part of a county's economy, and everything else you see in this list here. So once the easement's recorded, that's not the end of the story. We're still there to monitor the easement. We remain close in contact with all of our landowners to serve as a resource for them, as well as to monitor the property to make sure the terms of the easement are being upheld. So one of our biggest selling points is a smaller land trust. I'm sure y'all have heard of the Virginia Outdoors Foundation or the Department of Forestry, the Nature Conservancy. They all hold conservation easements, but being much larger organizations, they're a lot stricter and have much higher acreage limits for their easement programs. Where we're smaller, we're a lot more flexible. We can work with landowners to find terms that are mutually beneficial to everyone. And we just have a lot more flexibility in drafting conservation easements. Being locally and regionally focused, we're able to cater to your needs as a landowner more so than some of the bigger easement holders in the state. Most importantly, I think we can cater to smaller land owners as a smaller organization. Most of the bigger agencies and organizations have about 100-acre minimums for conservation easements. As a smaller land trust, We have several easements that run under 50 acres. I'm working on one right now that's only 29 acres down in Amherst County. So we try not to turn any landowners away. We're at least there to have a conversation with them and see what the possibilities are in helping them conserve their land. So here's my contact information. Wanted to leave a minute. If anyone has any questions, I'd be glad to answer them. Otherwise, thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Charles. That's great. Jesse, David, any? Okay. Thank you so much for coming and educating us all on this. I appreciate it so much. And,
Thank you for having me.
yeah. Okay. Next, we have an update on the Wild Rose Solar Project with Janine Johnson and Lauren Devine. Hello, Janine.
It's just Janine today, no
Okay.
Lauren, she couldn't make it, but thank you for having me today. As you're aware, we have, our special use permit was approved in January of this year, so I'm just here to update on some of the progress we've made over this past year, answer any questions, but really just here for a general update on the project. So just as a reminder, we're working on a 90 megawatt project down in the southern portion of Nelson County. Our current construction start date is targeted for September of 2028, and then we'll be commercially operable in November of 2029. Just flagging, this is a little bit different than what I think we presented during the permitting process. Most of that is because we're going through the interconnection agreement phase with the utility. We can't turn a solar project on unless we have an interconnection agreement with the local utility who is building the infrastructure for our project. So they've told us after a few studies we received this year that they won't be able to complete our upgrades until no earlier than November of 2029. So that's the earliest that we'll be able to complete the project. So that's the explanation for the little bit of a delay here. But our final interconnection agreement is scheduled to be issued in a couple days, and then we're expected to sign it here in the beginning of 2026. And this is a really big milestone for solar projects. Like I mentioned, we can't do anything without an interconnection agreement between the utility and the regional transmission organization, who's PJM. For context, we've been in this process since 2020, and we're just finally getting to our final agreement in 2026. So I just wanted to remind everybody, this is the design that we submitted as our preliminary design as part of our SUP. And then as part of a lot of the diligence we've been doing this year, we've got a little bit of a design update, and I'll emphasize again, this is still an early stage. Once we go out and work with EPC engineering companies, it'll continue to evolve. But I want to highlight here some of the things that we identified on site. You see the pink there is the wetland delineation. So that had to shift some of our panels as well. And then you'll see a lot of little red dots on there, which I'll get into in a little bit more detail on another slide. But there are some historical mining features on site. So we've shifted some panels to completely avoid any of those potential mining features. And I just wanted to remind everybody, this again is our old design, but we've committed to some extensive vegetative buffers. So as our design changes, those commitments are staying the same. So a lot of that dark green is still going to be there. We plan on keeping the existing vegetative buffer as it exists to buffer and screen the project as much as possible. All right, so this is really the bulk of what I'm here to talk about today, all the things that we've been working on in 2025. You'll see the list of studies there. During our application, we used a lot of desktop studies, but since that time we've completed a lot of field studies. So we've done phase 1 LiDAR, wetland delineation, as I showed, and then, as I mentioned previously, those mine features on that previous map. So those are from an historic iron ore mine. One of our studies picked that up. It's from the late 1870s, very limited in terms of the duration of what they were doing on site. I'm not sure how many people in Nelson County know that existed or occurred, but there's a low probability for really any additional unknown minings in the area, but our strategy moving forward is to just avoid those areas out of an abundance of caution. Some of the features that we're identifying are mine shafts, mine openings, any prospecting pits, so where they kind of dug just to see if there was any iron in the area before they physically started mining. And then some tailing piles as well, which are essentially mining waste, where they dug up and made piles of materials. So again, just to emphasize that we've updated the design to avoid a lot of those areas. In terms of the permitting, we've outlined here all the permits we've obtained, obviously our special use permit. We obtained our permit by rule by the Virginia DEQ in September. This was a little bit more of an expedited process than we anticipated with the state because the Virginia DEQ deemed the site a brownfield because of historic mining. So the brownfield definition by Virginia is real property, the expansion or redevelopment or reuse, which may be complicated by the presence or potential presence of a hazardous substance, pollutant, or contaminant. So the mine here complicates our development, and therefore the Virginia DEQ deemed it as a brownfield. So our permit by rule process was a little bit expedited. However, we still maintain committed to coordinating with all of the sister agencies of Virginia, so the Conservation and Recreation Department, Department of Historic Resources, and Department of Wildlife Resources. We're still communicating with them and making sure we're getting their sign-offs and approvals through this process, as you typically would have during a normal permit by rule process. And then the last permit that we're in the process of right now is the Certificate of Public Convenience and Necessity, and that's specifically for our generation tie to tie into the local substation here. It doesn't encompass the entire solar facility, just the generation tie line. That's been submitted, and we're expecting that here in the beginning of the year. A couple things I want to flag. Obviously, next steps, once we're ahead of construction, we'll get our stormwater pollution prevention plan and permit, and then, of course, before we start construction, we'll come to you guys with a final site plan, building and electrical permit. So we anticipate bringing our final site plan in early 2028 for the start of construction in Q4 of 2028. So that's what I have as an update. Any questions, comments that I can address today?
There was a question that was raised by Mr. Piercy about the scholarships.
Yes.
You want to give us an update on those?
So there's no update. I think right now we were trying to get through all of the permitting, and now that we've got a good phase on it and we have a really good understanding of when construction will start, 2026 will be the year where we start working through the scholarship and the SHINE program, which is the program where we'll bring the mobile lab and try to get as many interested locals to get trained in how to install panels, heavy machinery, etc.
Thank you for letting us know that. Any other questions?
So on the slide where you had all the peaks,
Yep.
did any of those changes that you all have had to make adjusting the site, will they impact the visibility? I know you said you addressed the buffers and all that, but was there any other impact on visibility?
No, not to my knowledge, no. And like I said, this is, the next iteration. It'll continue to change, and we can take a deeper look at that once we have maybe a 30 or 50% design on it.
Okay, just because that's, for me anyway, that's pretty important.
Yep.
Thank you.
Jesse?
Nothing.
Okay. Gene, thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you again. Okay. That brings us to new and unfinished business. First is application to request recognition of Go Virginia Region 9. Brittany's going to be giving a presentation for us on this. Forward to hearing about it. Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
Good afternoon. I'm here to present this resolution requesting that the Virginia Tourism Corporation recognize the Go Virginia Region 9 as its own distinct tourism region, proposed to be called Virginia's Piedmont. So this designation will better reflect how visitors engage with our area and strengthen regional marketing and collaboration. The purpose of this resolution is to formally request to Virginia Tourism Corporation to approve of a new tourism region. So each locality must submit a resolution of support in order to do so. Region 9 already collaborates extensively in tourism and economic development, but we are currently divided between two separate regions, Central Virginia and Northern Virginia. So the proposed Piedmont region includes Fauquier, Rappahannock, Culpeper, Orange, Madison, Greene, Louisiana, Louisa, Albemarle, Charlottesville, and Nelson. Economic development organizations and Go Virginia programs already treat this area as a unified region for workforce and business initiatives, so we are just hoping this resolution would align tourism efforts with these existing partnerships and overall strengthen the Commonwealth's tourism strategy by ensuring that the region's identity is clearly defined and promoted. With your approval, we can move forward with the application and strengthen our region's visibility within the state tourism framework. Thank you, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Any questions?
No, but I just have to say, first time I saw this map, I was shocked at how big the area truly is, and that we're all lumped in with Fauquier, for example. I mean, it's just crazy.
There's a positive attribute for us being where we're located, because I think we're surrounded by 2 other Go Virginia regions, or 2 or 3?
2.
And so that allows for new monies if we ever partnered up on a project and we wanted to utilize Amherst or Augusta or both, and you get 3 regions in on it. It's a lot bigger deal.
Yeah.
Okay. If there's no other questions, do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we adopt Resolution R 2025-84, Nelson County Board of Supervisors, request for recognition of Go Virginia Region 9 as a distinct tourism region.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Motion and second. Let's have a roll call.
Mr. Alford?
Yes.
Mr. Parr?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brittany, so much. Okay. Next, we have a truck order request from Piney River Volunteer Fire Department. Can you give us an informational update on all this and let us know where we are?
Where we are is I'm happy that you all have this paperwork and I'm not the only one looking at it. I think all of you have the package in preparation of the plan that's set out. Thank you all as a county for supporting the emergency service for all the years as you do. We hope it continues. We started about 400 days ago putting this together. We went through 6 different vendors. We ended up 3 wouldn't even quote us because they did 3 quotes for me. They just kept changing, whatever. So we've settled on this package here. This is actually the truck we designed based off the usage to make coverage for our 7 companies plus our mutual aid agreement with Amherst. We've got in there kind of the same package as Anchor Ritchie did with Fulver, where we can get a discount for prepaying for cab and chassis of, I think it knocks like $28,000, I think was somewhere around in that on it. Trucks have gone up a whole lot. We've actually received 4 different quotes from Don and Fesco on it that it's keep going up. Where we're at right now, we were able to stay at the 2025 price. January 1st, we will hit a 6% on pump components, 3% on tank components, and a possible increase on just whatever they want to call it for manufacturing. So it's a settled price of $807,244 minus the discount.
Okay. Okay. Any questions?
This came out of council.
Yes. You know, for all this pages of report, they couldn't even put one picture of the truck in there.
It's changed twice.
Oh, has it?
And actually, so the other thing is 2027 specs will go to a new admission system and cabin chassis. So that's one of the reasons they didn't give us a picture on it. This standard meets current right now. On our truck committee, I had 2 diesel mechanics, a VDOT employee, and 2 career firemen inspect this truck out. So, and we're all hoping that we do not have to hit 2027 emission standards. Those 2 mechanics save our department about $64,000 in mechanical repairs a year. So they do that in-house for us.
Is that based on ordering, the time you order, or the time it's delivered?
That will be the time of ordering.
Okay.
Last Tuesday, they filled up 180 slots through Kenworth's cabin chassis. So they're going to pay because nobody wants to hit 2027 emission standards.
You ready?
I am ready.
All right, Mr. Chairman, I move we adopt Resolution R 2025-85, Nelson County Board of Supervisors approval of 80/20 truck order request for the Piney River Volunteer Fire Department.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. We'll take a vote, please.
Mr. Rutherford?
Yes.
Mr. Parr?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think of note is that we look at the stations on a rotating basis in terms of truck replacement. And this was your time, your turn. So,
Yep.
so it all comes up with regularity, and it's good that we have you and good that we have the best equipment we can get. So thank you.
I'll add real quick, if it makes you feel any better, our neighboring department of Amherst went with a commercial or a custom cab, the square traditional. It's 1.28 million is what their replacement is this year.
Wow.
So we were doing some bargain shop.
Okay, well, thank you for that. Okay. Next, we have a request from Sheriff Embry to consolidate 2 part-time positions into 1 full-time.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair.
Hello.
Members of the board, good to be with you all here today. I'd like to call your attention to a written correspondence I had submitted to the board back on December 1st of this year. It's in regards to 2 part-time positions that the Sheriff's Office payroll budget is allocated. Those positions are currently vacant at the time. We had a member that was a part-time employee. Deputy Steve Davis announced his retirement back in mid-November. Deputy Steve Davis had been with us since January 1 of 2024, at the time when I took office. He was assigned his duties, and he did a phenomenal job. He was our civil process server. He took care of things within the allotted 29 hours a week that he was allotted to work. Upon his retirement, it had caused a major strain on our office to where we were having to get, we did not have a civil process server. Our patrol division was having to take care of that. Part-time applicants, qualified candidates are few and far between. It's very difficult right now in the current workforce environment. I've had no issues finding full-time candidates to come on board with our agency. In lieu of Deputy Davis's retirement, we have, effective December 1st, we have appointed an individual from within our agency, the airport security complex, somebody to take over full-time responsibilities for civil process, and I'm pleased to report that all of our civil process duties are getting served, workflow, everything is efficient going out now. What I can't do is fill these 2 vacant part-time positions. It makes sense for myself, for our agency to consolidate them both into 1 full-time. I've had the privilege, and I would like to thank Ms. Grace Moyer for allowing time to meet with me in weeks past to discuss this, what it would take to do this. And she could probably speak better to that, but it's my understanding it would be $7,000 from, and I'm asking for this to be consolidated effective January 1 to finish out the fiscal budget to June 30th. We already have an individual that we've brought on board that is filling a vacancy that I would move in to this vacant spot. This would be a locally funded position is what I'm asking for. It just, again, I just do not have a candidate applicant pool for anybody part-time. So respectfully, I ask that you please give favorable consideration to this request. I'm happy to answer any questions that any of you may have in regards to this.
Okay, so you're combining the civil processes server with a payroll and personnel person, is that correct?
The civil process server would be a full-time, it would be, the two part-time positions would be consolidated into one, yes.
Okay.
We've already reassigned Deputy Davis's duties to another individual who is a full-time employee.
Mm-hmm.
By consolidating this, this would then give back the position to the court security complex.
Okay.
So, just fiscally speaking, it would cost another $7,000 from January 1 through July 1, or June 30th, and then about $14,000, give or take, for a full year going forward. More in local funding.
Any questions or comments from anyone? Okay. Would someone like to make a motion on this?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve Resolution R 2025-86 as presented.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. We'll take a roll call.
Mr. Parr?
Yes.
Mr. Rutherford?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Thank you all very much. Happy holidays.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Mr. Chairman, can we take a restroom break?
Certainly. Okay, we're going to take a 10-minute break, please.